My name is Quest Hawk, and this is my tattoo tour. I first got tattooed when I was 15 years old. In real, I was inspired by two people, Allen Iverson and Travis Barker. I thought their style, the way that they were, Allen Iverson was such a cultural influence back in my time. So I ended up getting the kanji down my bicep, and Travis Barker was just rad. He was just a crazy drummer. He was respected across every different platform, whether you were black, white, into hip hop, rock and roll, it just didn't matter. He just crossed all lines, and that's what inspired my color within my tattoos. Yeah, so my first tattoo was the kanji going down my biceps. I was 15 years old. I was nervous as hell. I didn't eat. So I remember 30 minutes into the tattoo, I was getting dizzy and out of it. I went to this totally hole in the wall tattoo spot. Shout out to my mom for going with me. But it was called Funky Monkey or Funky something tattoo. And the guy was this big old burly dude and was smoking a cigarette. And he's like, "You sure you want to get this done, son?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I really want it." And he looks at my mom and is like, "You good?" And she's like, "Yeah, he wants it." And I remember him doing half the tattoo, and then he passed me off to his apprentice. At this time, I don't know what apprentice is, but he passes me off to his apprentice, and I'm just getting blasted by this kid that's probably 18, 19 years old. And yeah, that was my first experience in getting tattooed. Yeah, so I started choosing tattoos, obviously at a young age. My theme was always gonna be my life. I always looked at tattoos as the ability to capture my story. And I always had this yin and yang feel, you can't have good without bad, you can't have bad without good. And so my tattoos have always kind of been a relation of that. It shares the ugliest, darkest moments of my life, but then there's some amazing memories and some of the highlights of my life. And so I kind of keep that on my body as a perspective to remember the greatest things in my life, and to cherish those moments. And then I also have those moments that I look at as far as memories that some people would try to delete from their memory, but for me, I think that there's always a perspective of wanting that to remember how far I've come in life. Yeah, my tattoos have changed and evolved over time. I think simply by just being an individual that's very openly speaks about mental health, and talks about emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. A lot of my tattoos when I was younger centered around not having the greatest outlook on life, very embracing of dark things in my life. And I found myself that I functioned off of that. I used a lot of the negative aspects of my life, a lot of the negative moments and emotions in my life to motivate me to excel and to propel my life to greater things. Now that I'm older, I have a family, I have a beautiful son, a beautiful woman. My life is completely dramatically different. So my tattoos now are more of an inspiration to what I want in life, the goals and aspirations of what I believe. When I was younger, I just wanted to, make it till I was 21, 25 years old. I was like, whoa, that was my big goal in life. And now my goals are huge. And so my tattoos have evolved because they're not coming from a dark place. They're coming from a place of love. They're coming from a place of happiness. And they're coming from a place of maturity. I'm 38 years old. I've been getting tattooed for 23 years. That's 23 years of a story that's being captured on my body. I do have cover-ups. I have my life numbers and my number 777 tattooed on my face, and then I did sacred geometry over it. I had lips that were tattooed on me, that got covered up. I don't really want to laser surgery anything off. I feel like that's erasing a time in my life, but I definitely will do more blast overs. I have more projects of what you call in the industry a blast over. So yeah, the art of tattooing to me is, it's an all or none. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one of the very few things that you do in your life that you stamp it. And I know that there's tattoo removal. I know that there's all these things, but even that's a process. So when you think about it, it's in the sense of like, how many decisions do you have in life that are lifelong decisions? And that's what tattoo is. That's what the art of tattooing is. It's a lifelong decision. And I think that's amazing. It's something that people can't take away from you. And you can lose possessions, you can lose materialistic things, but your art's gonna get buried with you. My most painful tattoo, hands down, without a doubt, was my booty cheek. My booty cheek was no joke at all. Close second, top of the head. But definitely the booty cheek, I'm telling y'all, like, it's funny because people be like, what's your most painful tattoo? And like, they be expecting me to say something like, you know, my stomach or my chest, and I'd be like, my booty, bro. My booty. That, it just don't feel right. It hurts. All the nerve endings, your booty hurt. Using numbing cream or numbing spray takes away from the ritual or the tattoo experience. I would say a couple things. You might not like them. Here it is. One, you probably aren't really heavily tattooed. So you're like, you've got your like little arm piece, your little like finger pieces or whatever you want to call it. And you're like, tattoos don't hurt. Okay. Two, you probably aren't where you want to be in life, because if you want to experience pain over and over and over for hours on end, you probably are a miserable piece of shit. Three, if you're talking rituals and, oh, that takes away from the ritual, bro, like, the ritual, are you kidding me? Like, dude, you're using a machine, first off. If you want to really talk rituals, then you should be going and getting tapped on everything. Like, tattoos evolve, the game evolves, the way that we apply tattoos evolve, everything changes. So that's just in life. So if you're one of these quote unquote purists, it's like, since when do you give a damn about how people get tattooed or what they're feeling or what they want? Like, stay in your lane, do what you want to do. I earned so many, quote unquote, I earned my stripes in this game over 20 years of getting tattooed. I just started using tattoo numbing cream and spray because, dude, after 20 some years, I'm over the pain. I just want to enjoy collecting the pieces. I want to enjoy the artists. I want to enjoy the conversations, and I want to finish off my bodysuit.